Twiddly diddly dee, 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 tweet, 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 tweet. Here I'm sitting in the treetop all the day long, hopping and a bobbing and a singing this song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street, like did a robin going tweet, tweet, tweet.
Hello, everyone. It's your host of the most, Benjamin Util, with the Horror Heated YouTube channel and the South Jersey Horror Podcast. Today, I have a wonderful guest, a wonderful and talented guest, Natalie Burn, who is awesome, by the way, is very, very talented actress. And we're going to talk to her today about her role in Till Death Do Us Part, which is a really good movie. Not what I expected. A lot of good twists and turns and some good parts. Your character kicks ass in the movie, by the way. Just saying.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for acknowledging. It was fun.
Really, it looked like you had fun doing that movie. I mean, the stunts were phenomenal. I know you do your own stunts, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I do. I did most of the stunts on that film. Except the one fall, it was like on my back. I had a stunt double who did that, which she was wonderful as well to work with. And then the other one that I do not know how to do is motorbike. So that fall from the motorbike, I did not do that one because I can't even ride a motorcycle, to be honest. But I'm learning. I will. That's my next goal.
Convinced. So you have me convinced. So, like I said, very impressive bio. You're originally from the Ukraine, which is awesome. Like an actresses come from overseas. I love it. I mean, you'd be surprised how many actresses I've talked to who come up from who are from different countries around the world, and so talented. I mean, I'm telling the truth here. It's very talented.
Thank you so much. No, we had a lot of fun on that movie. It was pretty intense. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you noticed that it's not what you expected. I feel like if you do not watch that movie, you honestly have, like by the poster and the trailer itself, it shows one thing, but then when you watch it, it has like different stories that kind of collide into one, and there's a big twist in the end. And I always explain to people, I'm like, please watch it. You're gonna have fun. It's like, it's not your typical film, even though, it has a tons of action. It has a tons of like combat, MMA fighting types of things, but it's more than that. There's, like I said, there's like a secret storyline that kind of has a very interesting
right.
Listing things, and it's not like a linear story, so you have to really watch it to understand what's going on. And I thought that was what was interesting about the script when I first read it. I was like, oh, it's not like what you typically expect. It's not like this girl goes on revenge and that's it. No, there's more to it. So I kind of like, that's what made me very excited about this project.
I know it was weird because the movie is categorized as horror, but it's not horror.
I think because we made it so bloody, that's what categorizes as horror. You don't really promote for your kids to watch it if you don't want them to see like so much blood on one person. And I end up with a lot of blood by the end of the movie. So that's what was horrifying about it. But it's not like your typical ghost story. No, it's not. It's just bloody, and I feel like, of course, if you want your kids to stay away from that, we categorize it as horror. But it also has a bunch of like action and thriller and dark comedy, like, which is what people don't expect to see. Yes.
I was thoroughly entertained, so it was a great movie.
Thank you.
I'm very hard to impress when it comes to movies, but I was thoroughly entertained.
Oh, well then I'm gonna let the director know. I'm gonna let him know because he took a shot at making this film and he wanted to make it like super different, and he just went all the way, including hiring my friend Pancho Mueller, who is a small person. We're like, we want him to be one of the groomsmen. Why not? And then, in the movie, I use a chainsaw on him. So I think that's a very, it's a memorable moment, and it was fun, but that's what we wanted. We wanted to like really, really have fun with it.
So backing up a little bit, to kind of rewind a little bit, you were trained as a ballerina and you transitioned into acting, quickly emerging to be a captivating and awesome actress. You have obviously your talents are rising, being noticed everywhere. You have a remarkable versatility and just a wide range of, I'm going to say, a plethora of talents. So when it comes to acting, but more like into the action thriller kind of thing is what you mainly do, and which is not, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's absolutely, it's, pardon my language, fucking phenomenal. So
I think, yeah, I studied acting at Lee Strasberg, and I became a member of the actor studio. So I'm originally, trained in theater, and I love anything, dramatic, of course. And I would love to do some dramas, and then also comedies. I love comedies. So I'm open to trying things and doing stuff, and really challenging my I guess my abilities, which, when you take on a script, you're like, ooh, is this challenging? Is this interesting? So I kind of got taken into this action thriller world, not because like I wanted to, but because, people quickly noticed that I can do my own stunts because of my ballet training. And I guess that helps, with cutting the movie itself, and it makes it, keep the realism of the film and just connect with the audience a lot closer. So a lot of directors are now asking me like, oh, we want you to do that action kind of stuff. Like I'm getting scripts now, and it's funny because a lot of those characters are now all of a sudden they fight, and they have that want to fight with with one of the lead guys or girls. And the fights are very similar from like Till Death Do Us Part. Like, can you do that thing? And I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to do that thing all the time. So, but I love exploring things, whether it's physically or emotionally. Whatever it is that comes my way, I definitely like to, to push deeper than what I think I'm capable of. And so it doesn't matter what it is, like, but I'm open to, doing more stuff, more work, and more different genres in the future. So
well, it certainly helped because you won 12 awards from all different roles, and
yeah.
it's paying off. It's really paying off. But I said you're a very talented, and so talking about the movie "To Death Do Us Part." First, let's say this is not your typical Hallmark romance rom-com movie. So
It starts off like that, which is kind of interesting. It literally starts off like a rom-com, and it's a groom and a bride, and they're about to get married, and they have the groomsmen and beautiful bridesmaids, and everything is wonderful. And we have this beautiful music, and you're kind of like, wait, what am I watching? Is this the right movie? But then it kind of like, within like, I think it's like 4 minutes, there's this instant twist of like, you see this bride's face and you're like, wait, what's happening? She seems to be very sad. And then it kind of just starts telling you this whole story of why she's sad and what's going to happen. But then it jumps to different storylines. So you kind of have to put it together in your head first. And then in the end, it beautifully unravels and tells you this, oh, so this is what's happening. And that's where those characters come from. And to me, like that's interesting when the audience have to think. I feel like it's way better than just throwing everything at you and going like, oh, this is the movie, there you go, figure, this is it, there's nothing to it. But some people get pissed off because they're like, well, how much longer, I want to figure out what's going on. So I'm glad we made it this way, because it's a different film. And from rom-com, we go into this cabin where she arrives to the cabin, she runs off, like she runs away from the wedding, she does not go through with it. And then the angry groomsmen come after her because the groom says, hey, get her back no matter what. And that's when you find out that they're actually, through storylines, that they're actually all secret assassins, and they work for this organization called the University. And the wonderful actors that I had to deal with on set, like Cam Gigante, he plays the best man. He was amazing. Like, we have this one scene together, like kind of like in the middle of the movie, where we just act, face to face. And that scene, I think it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, because we were given permission to play, and we were given, the script was, the lines were as they were written, but we were just allowed to kind of like, explore our characters. And to be honest, like we were running out of time, so we didn't have, time to cut between and do multiple takes in different angles. So it was more like a theater that we shot that scene. It was more like one take, I think we did 2 only, that's it. But the camera just kind of like moved around and grabbed whatever they could from us. But I had a lot of fun with Cam, because we were like, let's just do it. Let's do it. We have no time. Let's do it. And it was a lot of fun. And then Darius Blaine was a friend of mine as well. I've worked with him before. He was wonderful. And the last scene that where we dance, it's like one of my favorites too, because I'm a dancer, you know, so I got to dance a little bit in the movie. I was like, oh, this is fun. This is interesting. Yeah, but everybody, you know, all the actors have been phenomenal. Of course, Jason Patrick. The boat, we got to work on the boat with Jason Patrick, and I was like, ooh, I feel like I'm, you know, in Speed 2. And I was asking him all the time, I was like, how was it working on the boat in Speed 2? He goes, yeah, it was fun. It was good. Well, sadly, we were supposed to be shooting in Puerto Rico, but we didn't make it to Puerto Rico, even though I have shot a couple of movies there. So we decided to cheat and shoot in Los Angeles, in Marina del Rey. So we took out the yacht, this 100 feet yacht, beautiful yacht, and we were there on it, all of us. And I guess it was one of those days that the weather was not, you know, great, and the boat was like choppy. Like we're talking about like really, really choppy, and we had to film on it. And I'm not even kidding you, but our whole crew, including the director, were seasick so bad. I mean, everybody like threw up, I think like maybe 20 times, except it was me, Jason Patrick, which that's why I asked him. I was like, I guess you're good because you shot that whole movie on the boat. He goes, yep. The things that I had to deal with before, it was even worse. So yeah, but it was kind of like, it was interesting. I don't even know how we finished that day because we almost threw aboard our sound guy because he was that sick. Well, we almost like threw him in the water. We're like, he needs to go swimming right now. You know, so I think he did. We threw him. Yeah, we did. We threw him in the water. Yeah, so we had a lot of different crazy moments on that movie. Memories.
As I watched the movie, it seems to me it's like a sleekier version of Ready or Not. It's like you got this whole badass Xena persona going on, and you're kicking everybody's ass. And from I guess I think the director was going for it. I think he instilled the inspiration from the bride from Kill Bill. That's the vibes I was getting as well from that movie due to the similarities. So
yeah.
How did you prepare for the fight scenes? I mean, these were just nuts.
I trained. I basically went a lot to the gymnasium so that I could do like some backflips and you do like different like limber training so that I felt like I was, you know, flexible enough to take on any kind of choreography that was coming my way. Because the sad reality about us filming on set is that you basically don't know when you're gonna go. Like, so you can warm up, you know, as much as you want in the morning, and you'll be like, I'm ready. My muscles are warmed up. Let's film right now. And then you're like, why are we not filming? Well, no one else is ready. You know, something else is going on. You know, like the director is still figuring out where we're gonna film, or like the set is not prepared, or like, you know, the costume is not ready. Oh my God, the costume, that dress was intense. It had so much problems with that dress. I have no idea. I mean, it gave me like, I honestly, the first time I put on the wedding dress, because I've never been married, the first time I put it on, I was like, oh my God, I'm so pretty. By the end of the shoot, I was like, take it off of me. I can't. I don't even want to get married anymore. I'm done. So
I think brides ever want to know how you were able to fight in a wedding dress.
I mean, on top of which I had to be bare, which was another brilliant idea of our director. He's like, let's get our stakes up and let you fight like bare feet. And he was like die card. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And then we Google and we find out that Bruce Willis actually had fake feet made for him. I was like, what? So why did I fight the whole movie bare feet? And then Bruce Willis had his like fake feet on. So I was like, that's not fair. I mean, it was tough. Like my last, like one of my fights with Sedaris Blaine, the guy who plays the groom, he stepped on my foot, on my toe, like my big toe. And I literally like my toenail got like cracked and it was like bleeding, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my toenail. Yeah, because like you don't, you know, like he's a big guy, he's big, and he's wearing shoes, and we were like fighting on a concrete where I had to literally like roll and fall down by myself. So whenever he stepped on my foot, I was not present, but luckily my toe is good, and my toenail is you know still there, so I'm good. But yeah, yeah, no, but my training always, like before those kind of films, is like, hey, I do like martial arts training. You know, I train with Arnold Chung. We go to this really cool gym called Unbreakable, and it's a private gym, but it was fun to work with him. So I did like kickboxing, you know, jiu-jitsu training, And then I go to the gymnasium to do some kind of like backflips and just like weapon training and all kinds of stuff where I know I'm physically prepared like for anything that comes my way. Because honestly, as much as we've prepared like previews for this movie, and we went and we trained at the gym, we went and we trained with DY Sal, who's one of the guys that I fight in the movie. We trained with him in the park, and we put together fights, and we were like, okay, this is great, let's show it to the director. We showed it to the director, and he's like, yeah, no, let's go walk where you're going to be doing those fights, and we're going to have to like choreograph it from scratch. So that's when you're like, okay, I'm ready, let's do it. Because you wanted to utilize the space. We didn't know until like pretty much last day where we were going to do it. Because, you know, you're looking for locations, you want something interesting. And when we found that bedroom, he was like, all right, so we have to utilize the bed, we have to utilize the you know, the bookcase, you know, so we have to utilize this like a vase that you're going to break and all that stuff. So, you know, you kind of just try to like, you know, use the environment, which, you know, I admire Jackie Chan and his kind of like fighting. It's kind of comedic, but it's fun, you know, and it's dangerous, but it's not. So, you know, so I wanted it to be real, and the director like really wanted to be not super choreographed. So he was like, I don't want pretty choreographies, you know, I don't want it to be super slick and kind of like, you know, almost Matrix type. He was like, I want it to be raw. I want the audience to be like, so yeah. So when I'm like falling and I'm like really like, you know, trying to escape, it's me really trying to escape. I mean, we went for it like 100%, but we were like, but the guys that I fought with, they're incredible. They're like, it's incredible how free you feel with them, because you're like, you know, they got you. The professional guys that know how to fight, they're just like, they're incredible. Like I never once was worried that they're gonna do something or I'm gonna do something. So it's like, we got it. I mean, I wanted to keep going. I was like, let's do it more, let's do it more, let's do it more. I'm ready. So
yeah, so I love there was a lot of shit coming out of me watching the entire movie. So that's like, look, damn, hold up. No, not doing it. So certainly it takes 100% commitment to do these kind of roles and these kind of fight scenes. Right off the bat, which kill is your favorite kill?
I would say, I mean, the kill, it's not the kill. I would say the kill is probably the one with like the ball stabbing. That was Sam.
Okay.
Sam, when I, you know, when I do the split and I kind of just like kill him and stab him in his crutch. I just thought that was hilarious. And that was one of those things that the director came up with. And we didn't do something where he really wanted to add as the, you know, his balls to kind of fall out and CGI. Yeah. We didn't add that because he thought it was going to be like too much. Now that I watch it, I'm like, oh no, we should totally done it. You know, the other thing that we were missing, and we were like, we just ran out of time, is that one of the guys was supposed to like cut my finger off. And I was supposed to have lost my ring, and then I should have showed up, you know, at the groom's place, right. And I should have been like, honey, yeah, I lost my ring, and it's just like blood splashing. So, but we didn't get a chance to do that either. So there are a lot of things that we still wanted to do, but you kind of ran out of time, you know. But that's my favorite kill. I thought it was kind of cool and interesting. I know like everybody that's watching that reaction, like. You know, so that's cool. But the best, like the fight, I loved fighting with DY Sal. So that's the guy that I kind of choke on the bed. And he's a phenomenal like fighter. It's the second movie I've done with him, and I would totally work with him again. Like on like some intense, like, you know, the Ray type of like movie where it's like nonstop fighting. Oh my God, I would do it with him in a heartbeat. Like he's amazing. Yeah.
Well, the stab in the testicles had me screaming for days. So just
which one was your favorite?
The chainsaw, the midget with the. I'm sorry, midget's not the right word. Dwarf person.
Small person. Yes. Oh my God, that was fun as well. Oh, that scene was hilarious because we were supposed to leave that scene until the last day of filming, because obviously, as you can see, my character get drenched in blood. And we only had like 2 dresses to swap in, so to swap from. So it's like one dress, it was kind of like a little bit bloody, and then the other was supposed to be very bloody. And we needed the 3rd dress for the beginning of the movie, which we're gonna shoot afterwards. It never arrived because I had a special order from Italy, and they Always, it's the company that provided me with the dresses. Thank you very much for doing that. But the third one did not arrive on time. So we were like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So we're like, it's okay. Let's not do the chainsaw until the last moment. So let's just practice. And we were just setting up the shot just to do like, the insert of it and nothing else.
Yeah.
So the makeup artist did not hear us. And she was sitting right in front of me, watching me like, oh, this is so great. So the director says action, and I'm using my chainsaw, and it makes sounds, like it's not rotating, but it still makes sounds. So I'm like shaking it, and all of a sudden this like cold, fake blood like gushes all over my face. And my reaction, I mean, that's my true reaction. I had no idea what to do. I was like, oh my God. And it went inside my mouth, inside my eyes. And I was like, I cannot see. I can't stand eating this. This is like, it was intense. And all I'm thinking about, oh my God, I have no other dress. Oh my God, I have no other dress. That's it. We're done. Like, I don't know what to do. Yeah. So that moment was real for sure. It was like amazing. You know what we did with the dress? There's another crazy thing. So the scene was shot in church. So my dress is actually painted white. There was nothing else we could do with it. So instead of like getting a new dress because we couldn't get it, we had to unfortunately paint it white. And then one of our assistants decided to save on paint, and she bought it, one of those glowing in the dark paint. So on top of that, my dress was also glowing.
Oh wow, that's cool. So got about a minute and a half left, if that. I would like to I will let you know, do you have any upcoming movies and projects? I see on IMDb there are a lot of projects in development that you could talk about within the next minute.
So I have a new movie coming out actually next year. It's a medieval movie that I shot in Italy and Sicily, and I'm very looking forward to it coming out. It's called The Last Redemption, and it's with Kevin Sorbo and James Cosmo. So I'm excited about that movie because I literally play like a medieval princess warrior type of character, and I absolutely loved working on the film. It took a while to shoot, but I got to be on the horse, fight with swords under the rain, and wear that heavy ass costume, which was pain ass again. But I love those parts, and I'm all down to try and do more things like that. So yeah, it was one of my favorite experiences. So I'm looking forward to it coming out next year. And I've got a few other projects that I'm in production, and I'm going to be shooting end of January. So I'm excited about those.
That's phenomenal. Got to wrap this up. It's been real fun talking to you. I really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the wonderful, the beautiful, the talented. Yeah, I forgot your name already. I'm so sorry. Natalie Burn. Yes. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you. Thanks for